Oh, it is 9:30 Friday night hangout. So I've grabbed a brew, shoot the breeze, and interact with you live on the internet. Or if you are on the podcast, then you're getting the repeat version of this. We're going to get people settled in here. We're going to do a quick round of intros. From Dartmouth, Dan with us tonight. How's it going, Dan?
Ah, diddle-a-doo. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes. From Newfoundland, we got a Mike with us tonight, Bluefin Outdoors on the YouTube. How's it going, Mike?
Hey, gang. Welcome to the best show on the internet.
Oh, Mike, you are so kind, so kind. And I am here in Halifax with us tonight, Bedford to be more precise, in the little outskirts here. We're just getting settled in here. We're going to let people jump in here. Let people know if you're watching live, you can interact with us via Twitter, via the effing Hangout hashtag, or the YouTube live chat. I'll be monitoring that. If not, podcast listeners, we're just going to leave this uncut and enjoy the show, basically.
So, just before you start there, I noticed in the bottom third for Mike's page, it has a soon-to-be Bluefin Outdoors. Do you want to expand upon that?
Yes, Mike, tell us more about this.
I'm trying to basically rebrand my channel. I'm going by Bluefin, but my channel is Mustang774, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come up with a better logo and just rebrand everything as Bluefin Outdoors. That should cover my channel better than a name that means nothing.
Yeah. And for those of you wondering, oh, what does Mustang or Bluefin has to offer? You know what? Mike's in Newfoundland. There's the East Coast Trail, and if you want to see different sights than what you're used to in East Coast, Atlantic Coast, want to see some interesting stuff in Newfoundland, go to his YouTube channel. And I know you won't be able to rebrand your channel name, but go to Mustang774 and you see some pretty cool hiking videos. So from Newfoundland, get some really neat perspectives. Gives me the itch to try some of that East Coast Trail, for sure.
And also, if you're on the Rock and you're in dire need of mustard pickles, he's your man. So
my God.
I'm sure you're going to be able to order it from your website, right? Your channel?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I got a funny story. Hopefully we'll segue into this, but I got a great story about the mustard. Not the mustard pickles, but the French ketchup.
Yeah.
If we're able to segue into that, let me know, so we're able to get into that. All right, folks, let's do a quick round of what we are drinking tonight. This is where we're going to highlight some Nova Scotia craft beer or Newfoundland craft beer, depending where you are.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, what are you drinking tonight, sir?
This is where you find out how bad my French is. It's actually a Quebec beer.
That looks like the Trois Mousquetaires, a little higher, Mike. That's the Malbec from Malbec from Trois Mousquetaires.
Yep.
What's the ABV on that one?
It's a 6.8, and it's a blonde lager with pearl and Hallertau hops.
Yes.
And it says it has a fresh green, floral, and honey taste, and it is nice and honey taste to it, nice and light.
Now, Mike, you got Trois Mousquetaires there. I'm a big fan of their Baltic Porter. If you ever see that label, which is a black label, looks identical to what you have there with the cork, you're going to grab not one bottle, not two bottles. You grab the entire case. You're going to take that with you because that's going to be a good beer. But with that Malbec, what do you think? What do you think about that one?
It's really nice. I'm really enjoying this. There were, I think, two other types from the same brewery. I don't think they had the porter, but I will pick those up tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is nice.
Trois Mousquetaires is one of my favorite breweries from Quebec. Anything that I see from them, I will grab. Big alcohol brewers, so 9-10%. You know, you're lucky with the lower one with the 4. I think
it
4.
Tastes really light for a 6.8.
Yeah. They do a fantastic job. Love that. Dan, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, it's actually one that, surprisingly, I haven't had before. I always see it on the shelf. I always pick around it, but I never actually selected it. And I do like my IPAs, and it's the Imperial IPA from Garrison. I've just never had it before. As you can see, the nice big green hoppy stuff on there, so that's fantastic. As far as a IPA goes, it's actually pretty high on the alcohol content. It's 8.0%. So there's a real good punch to it in the flavor. It's not as smooth as other IPAs because of that, but overall, pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you know what? If you go to the NSLC, you'll get the choice between the Boxing Rock Victor's Cross, which is 8.5, and the Garrison, which is 8.0, which is the highest thing you can get for Nova Scotia craft beer. I switched between the two. Today I went for the Vickers Cross earlier in the day, but normally I would do with you, Dan, with the Garrison. I've been working on the growler. I'm going to flip it around so you don't see the logo because it's not what I got. I basically got the Sea Level El Rojo Diablo dry hop red IPA 6.66 ABV, and it looks kind of rusty. And that's and that's what it's supposed to be. I've been working on that since lunchtime, and it's a very nice beer. I love it. So if you're in Bedford, Sunnyside Mall, Crystal Luckett's, you got a growler.
Crystal Wines or whatever?
Yeah, Crystal Wines, whatever it is. You got a growler, fill that up there, you get that. If we have time tonight, I'll have another one here, which is going to be the a Boxing Rock Ale.
Okay.
And that's about it. So, anyway.
Well, considering the amount of growlers that you get and promote from a certain dealer in Bedford, I'm seeing sponsorship possibilities, synergy between this podcast and channel and fine establishment.
You know what? And somebody mentioned that, hey, you should approach the Ford dealership because you drive. I'm like, yes, I would totally go to a Ford dealership and say, give me a car for a month so that you don't give it to the hipsters in Halifax that really only take the bus, and yet they have to talk about the Ford Edge or something else that they're totally not into.
Oh, you got to get into that sweet, fat Apple train. See that? The flash in there? Oh, that chunky
I'm
Apple
down with
flash.
It. No. Hey, I'm down with it. I got the Apple Red Dragon on the SKU. It's not just Red Dragon.
Actually, is that a part of, like, Apple's always had those special edition red products, all used towards, like, the funds go towards AIDS research?
Yeah.
Is this a part of that?
That's exactly it. On the box, it is the red that will go towards that, but in the SKU in the back, it's Red Dragon. It's a different thing, so unless it's on there. But, I 1 year after the Apple Watch, I decided to switch the bands, the silicone bands. I'm going to say right now to the people watching about the Apple Watch, a lot of people ask me about the Apple Watch. Do I like it and stuff? Really, it's all about not pulling out your phone for notifications. So if you have your notifications, basically it's on your watch, and you can just simply nonchalantly tap and reply or discard whatever message is. It's really sweet. But I got the white band, and after a while, the silicone was gaining some, I'm going to say green. It's green. It was green. Some green was adding on the band. I don't know if it's because me rubbing on the desk as I was working, I couldn't wash it off. So after a year, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get the red band, aluminum sports watch, so that I can just switch it. I changed the watch face, so it's just the my little girl right there. So, but I went down to Vegas. I was in Vegas for the last 4 days, from Sunday to Wednesday night or Thursday, and I saw Dan, Mike. I'm gonna have to bear bad news, but all I saw was iPhones and Apple Watches. That's all I saw. All I saw. I saw one Android device, no Blackberries whatsoever, because I was in one of these user conferences where you had to use your device. It was iPhone 6, Apple Watch, the more expensive band, the steel band. I got
the loop one.
Yeah, the loop or the steel magnetic, which is like the $200 or $300 one. I got the cheapest thing I can get my hands on. Um, yeah, here in Halifax, we don't see a lot of Apple Watches, but you know what? In Vegas, almost every other person had one. It was ridiculous. So anyway, let's start with topics here, folks. If you're watching live, we're going to do FN Hangout on the live chat on Twitter or on the YouTube chat page. Let's start out with the first topic. One of the stories from Dan here. Wireless providers allow miners to authorize extra data charges. Marketplace finds. Dan, can you give us a little details on the story?
Yeah. So I picked this up off the CBC website today, and apparently Marketplace did a little expose on that. So whenever you sign up for one of those family plans where you're sharing your pool of minutes and data between the various family members that are associated with it, they're saying that it's not the main holder of the account. Anyone that is a part of that family can choose to override the existing settings and go well above and beyond that. So what came up of this story, how this showed up, is that there was a woman who is the family plan had it, and her son said, okay, let's go beyond her data caps, and he called up Bell and said, yeah, I authorize going beyond it, and they came back with a whopping $1,700 phone bill for that month. And amazingly, a minor, a child, can call in and okay that.
That's crazy.
That seems crazy.
Yeah, and apparently this isn't a rare thing. There's multiple cases of that, and as a part of the expose, they grabbed a couple of teenagers in a room and then had each of them try the exact same thing, saying that they want to approve any overages, and sure enough, their cell phone providers are like, yeah, go. Fair enough.
That's interesting because here in the household we have the two accounts. We're both on Telus. Me and the missus, we have our phone. But for whatever reason, the missus, even though I created the accounts and I added her name is the principal. For whatever reason, I can't do anything until they contact her in terms of adding a phone, changing the plan, and that kind of stuff, which is really weird because I'm the one that created it. But to have kids, to have that verbal, like, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, just stream whatever you want, like, go beyond your data caps, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So, I mean, this has come up to the, what's it, I'm forgetting the name of the organization, the Canadian Telecommunications...
CRTC.
CRTC. So it came up to the CRTC, and CRTC is yeah, of course this isn't allowed. In fact, existing ruling should not have this take place, and the both Bell and Rogers were kind of defending their position on the matter, saying, well, it's up to the parents to create the rules, yada, 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 to enforce it, blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, that's dirty. That really is dirty.
It is very dirty, and I don't know if we have the $25 cell packages topic tonight, but that's the kind of thing. It's like they just want to take your money. Doesn't matter who you are, how old you are. Oh, you have an active account? We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you.
So this is just a warning for anyone out there that has a family plan. Talk to your family and make sure that they're not doing things you don't want them to do.
Exactly. All right, on the YouTube live chat, we got GC Storm 1, Roger. Hey, guys, dirty old town black IPA from Garrison for me tonight, which is really good. And did I reply to him properly? Probably. And I'm just going to say, is it good?
I've had it in one of the podcasts, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I had it too. I haven't had it last couple of weeks, but it's definitely it's a good brew for a black IPA. Let's see. A man who allegedly hijacked a bus to stop at Tim Hortons facing multiple charges. All right, Dan. So this CBC headline was totally wrong grammatically.
Yeah.
But basically, somebody hijacked a bus to go to Tim Hortons. Where was this?
This was in Toronto. It was a 31-year-old man that by knife point, hijacked a bus to have them take him to a Tim Hortons, in which case the police were able to pick up this dink at that very Tim Hortons to arrest him, because apparently he just needs to get there, and he was happy as a pig in poop, just drinking his double, waiting for the police.
Now, Mike, is this a regular occurrence for you in Newfoundland for this kind of stuff? Like, I need my Tims.
Yeah, it happens that often. They don't report on it anymore.
Now the police say that they believe he overdosed on drugs, but that's pretty damn specific. They're actually like going, "Whoa, I need my Timmies. Where's my buck knife?" Like, isn't there like an Uber service for that or something? I don't know.
It's funny. I didn't try any Uber while I was in Vegas this past week. We'll get into Vegas a little bit later. I know folks looking at my Twitter feed is like, what's going on with Jim? Yeah. Anyway, Mike, Newfoundland. No, Mike, back to Newfoundland. You must have had some shenanigans similar to this, right? You must have had something like this.
Well, probably the strangest police story last year would be the police every Friday, they put out a Facebook announcement of we're looking for so-and-so for, questioning in an armed robbery or whatever. They put out a post a couple months back, we're looking for Joe Blow. So an hour later, Joe Blow emails me in on Facebook, I'll come in and see you on Monday. This went out on a Friday. Monday morning, he showed up.
Well, what I was going to get at is what the part that confuses me is that in a city like Toronto and any other sort of major center, why would you even need to take a bus to get to the Tim Hortons where they're every 2 blocks? So why would you even bother going through that rigmarole? Yeah, that's a lot of effort just to get your double when it's just right there.
You can't explain the rationale of people. It's like either you stand in line, or you're just gonna go to the other line, or you're gonna go to the next Tim's, which is the 1 block over.
Yeah.
On the live Twitter chat, we got Stu with us tonight. He is drinking the Boxing Rock, the next chapter Rye IPA, 6.3% ABV, and comes in the 650 ml bottle, such as this, different label, red. With the rye, this is a contentious beer. A lot of people are kind of like, you know what? The rye, very sharp rye taste is a little too much. Unless you're a bourbon drinker, you might like it. If you're not a bourbon drinker, might be difficult to understand.
Yeah.
So with that Tim Hortons story, I wonder if this is the same guy that threw snakes at the employees. If you remember that story.
Yeah.
Did you remember about that one?
Yeah.
It's a couple months ago. A guy goes in and has a fight with the staff, and then he just proceeds to take a couple snakes and whip them at the staff.
Yeah, I mean he's pocket or something.
That sounds a little too crazy. Not as crazy as the next story, Dan.
Which one? I did two pretty crazy ones there.
Yeah. Syrian refugees get put up in the same hotel as furries.
Yeah.
Was that yours?
Yeah, that was mine. So,
all right, what's going on here?
Okay, so in Vancouver, British Columbia, they were having a huge furry con or whatever, some sort of Vancouver furry conference hosted at this hotel. And this hotel happened to also be hosting some of the refugee families that were just recently introduced to Canadian life. So you can imagine what will happen with an extremely conservative culture clashing in with an extremely... I don't want to offend our furry listenership, our watchers, because I'm sure there's a ton of you watching, but shall we say passionate group of costumed animal lovers. But you think this would be like Clash of the Titans? You're gonna have like blood going through the streets of just people minds exploding. But apparently the kids thought this was the greatest thing that ever happened on the planet. They thought, look at this! It's like Disney World right in our hotel. So they're dancing with the kids. The furries are all loving this because they're being able to be themselves, and the kids are loving this because it's like right out of a cartoon, and the parents must be like, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, what could have been an incredibly sort of contentious moment ended up being actually a very open, inviting moment for both groups, and fantastic all around.
Wow.
That's funny.
I have a similar but totally not relatable story about that.
Is this a Vegas thing, first of all?
No, actually, the post-Vegas. Actually, it was just a few hours ago. Me and my little girl were watching Spider-Man, and we're on the Netflix. And Dan, you have behind you the Spider-Man
Toy
bag.
box?
Yeah,
Yep.
toy box.
Yep.
So I can't remember which Toby or is it the Andrew guy, which is totally discarded now.
Yeah, that
We
was
don't
the
even acknowledge
Andrew
him.
Garfield one.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, so the last two Spider-Man movies, Daddy kind of skipped through a lot of the good parts, so that me and my little girl we can watch Spider-Man. For whatever reason, she is into Spider-Man. There's no Spider-Man in the house. Oh, hang on. There is a 2-foot stack of Spider-Man comics that she has access to. But yet at daycare, this is where she gets the Spider-Man. Anyway, we watch Spider-Man movies. We skipped through the good parts on Netflix, and yeah, that's how we roll.
Nice.
Yeah.
Up until about a month ago, we had a life-size Spider-Man in the house.
Wait a minute. Inflatable or spandex?
No, he was like stuffed, life-size Spider-Man. It was my son's. He got it when he was like 4 or 5.
Oh, really?
He just turned 20, and he said, "I gotta find a kid to give this guy a good home."
Good man.
Yeah.
Deciding where to put that through.
But like a 6-foot Spider-Man in your house for 15 years is a bit much.
Yeah, that will get to you, especially at night when the light's low and you're like walking through, through the house. Ah, Spider-Man, or some man. Hey, let's do a quick round of what we're drinking tonight. We're gonna do Twitter, effing Hangout hashtag, or the YouTube live chat, folks. We had Stu and GC Storm commenting, so we got most of Nova Scotia covered with us tonight. We got a little bit of Newfoundland tonight. Mike, what are you drinking tonight, sir?
I'm just about to finish off the Trois Mousquetaires
Malbec.
Yeah, and it's really good. I'm going to go back and check out the other. There was 2 more brands, 2 more selections from the same brewery, so I'll pick them up tomorrow.
Is that something that's also carried in Nova Scotia? Is that something that we could try locally here, or no?
Yes, you can find Trois Mousquetaires at Bishop's Cellar in downtown Halifax. They have 2 or 3 brands, and also at Rockhead they have 1 or 2. But the one that you really want to find is the Baltic Porter.
Okay.
That's the one you want to find. They do a wheat beer. They do another sour that was really good. Baltic Porter, to me, is something really special. Ironically, in Quebec, when you get it, it's only like $7-8 for a 750 ml bottle. Once it gets out here, it's like $20 all of a sudden. But
okay, the one I picked up tonight was like $8.
oh, that's really good.
Yeah, and it was 750 ml, I believe.
Yes, no, you got a good deal. You won't get that deal for the Baltic Porter. I can tell that much.
Probably not.
All right, Dan, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking the Imperial IPA from Garrison. Again, it's a nice strong one. It's an 8%. Not as strong as the Vickers Cross, but I've had the Vickers Cross multiple times, and I thought I'd give the Garrison a shot. Yeah, really enjoying it. I don't know if I'd say it's going down smooth because of the alcohol content. It's not going as smooth as a regular IPA, but still very flavorful, so I'm enjoying that. And again, Garrison, if you wish to sponsor me, I'm always open for more of these.
It's a different label now.
It is a different label one. I know. Yeah. So I will, one of these upcoming podcasts, I will do an old versus new episode. I'll have to prime myself that day because that's a lot of alcohol, but I will do that.
You know what? Tomorrow I will just go down to Garrison just to get a OFB, Old Fog Burner, just for you, Dan, just so that I can drink it and just be incapacitated for the rest of the day.
I will take that up.
On the live Twitter chat, Stu says, I love Dan's stories. They are funny, he says.
Thank you.
He was also drinking the rye IPA from Boxing Rock. It's kind of hard to describe. He says, it is true. It is hard to describe. I am finishing off the Sea Level Brewing El Rojo Diablo, which is the red hoppy dry hop ale, 6.666 ABV. I've been working on that most of the day. I will probably get to the Boxing Rock Wild Axe 5.7 at some point. I'm still on West Coast time, folks, and might as well do the segue into the why I'm on the West Coast time. I went to Vegas. Work had a conference, which is really weird. Why would you have a work conference in Vegas? Anyway, spent 4 nights in Vegas, Sunday to basically yesterday. I rolled in 3 o'clock in the morning here in Halifax, all the way to the West Coast time. So 4-hour time difference plus time change spring forward on the flight out. So that missed you. I got up at like midnight to take a 5:30 flight because of the time change and all that stuff. Luckily, I had a coworker who been to Vegas like twice, know where to go. So I just tell me where to go. I said, where can I get beer, and where can I not get accosted by the hookers? That's basically where what I said. So I brought back from Vegas some cards. Those of you who have gone to Vegas, there's cards. And when you walk the strip, there's some people that do the card flip. They don't give it to the girls, but they give it to the guys, which is basically the escorts.
Is that Celine Dion? What the heck?
No, hang on. Let me flip the other side. So what I love about these cards, I got 12, and which is like 3. And I'm like Las Vegas VIP Escorts xxx.com if you're interested in Googling. XXX Las Vegas Escorts.net if you're interested. And femaleslasvegas.com. Anyway, so after the next day when I was kind of not hungover but a little slow, I was going through these cards. It's like, why is she $35, and then all of a sudden the other one's like $135, and then you got the 2-for-1 for $99. It's like, what? I don't understand the economy of scale. And anyway, so for guys, if you're interested in Las Vegas, you get the cards, and you're like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't call anybody to really like negotiate the price, but when you go down from $35 to $135, you kind of ask, well, what's included?
Right? This sounds like a Costco thing.
Like seriously, like I'm like, all right, so this is Jessica. All right, so Jessica, there's no price on Jessica. But yet, 2-for-1, $99. So I don't understand.
Is it like Pokemon cards? Where do they have like their special moves and powers?
I don't understand. Now, my friend was telling me, my coworker was telling me, there's a lot less of these cards people on the strip. So I don't understand. Anyway, we were at the Cosmopolitan.
Pikachu, I choose you.
We were on the Cosmopolitan Resort or motel. It was right across from Planet Hollywood on the Strip, and really nice spot. But I can't. If I had any skills, I would do the screen share, show some pictures. If I prepped, I didn't prep. Check on the Avoiding Chores fan page, and you might be able to see it. Guys, have you been to Vegas before?
No, never.
No, I shouldn't say that. I actually flew, like I landed in the Vegas airport, but that was just to continue somewhere else. So I do remember one thing about being in the Vegas airport back in like '82 is that they had slot machines in the airport, and my parents were trying to keep us away.
Lots of slot machines, but you know what? That Vegas airport is really easy to get along. You take a train to get from one terminal to the other one, which is basically to get around the 4-lane highway that they put up in between the two terminals. But you know what? And it was my first time to be in Vegas too, and I will have to admit, for eye candy, I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. There's ladies in body paint, there's the hookers, there's the escorts, there's the people giving them the cards, there's the street performers, there's the homeless people, because it doesn't really get cold in Vegas.
No.
You know, their wind advisory is like 30 kilometers here in Canada, which is like a normal breeze for us here.
Yeah.
So my stay has been, you know, in terms of going to the resort and stuff, was awesome. And you know what? I would totally recommend people, you know, if you get the opportunity, just go. You don't have to gamble. You don't necessarily have to tip. You do probably have to keep a couple extra $100 for your gambling stuff, just in case. Stu on the live Twitter chat says here, collected about 100, then stood on the street on the corner, handed them out to get lots of laugh. Probably about the cards. Stu, you dirty son of a gun. You got some more? Give them to me. Ran into Stu earlier today, getting the beers. So it's good. Smoking Ape says the one that show up ain't one of the cards. Indeed, Smoking Ape. You know what? I was kind of liking Belinda. I doubt Belinda's coming over for 150, no hidden fees. Anyway, these things on the Strip is just ridiculous. Anyway, and then he says, yeah, okay. So one of the things in Vegas, now being the first, I'm gonna give my first timer review on going to Vegas. Mm-hmm. Lots of strollers, lots of kids.
I thought they were trying to get away from that. I thought that was a big push in the early 2000s, and it kind of failed for them.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like I was basically going over strollers and young kids, like 4-year-olds and stuff.
Whoa! You're going over?
Yeah. Get over me,
dude.
There. I had this daiquiri, this 64-ounce daiquiri freaking thing that you can just walk on the street, which is like this tall, maybe this tall. And in Las Vegas, you can just walk. Yeah, I was seeing people walking with open rum and cokes. Like, why are they walking around with rum and cokes? And it's like, oh, yeah, because it's Vegas.
Yeah.
And there's daiquiri bars. You can get pina colada, margarita, whatever you want, mixed drinks, mixed frosty drinks, into things. So I said, yeah, give me the big one, because I gotta be like with everybody else. So anyway, I did all that, but I did see in Vegas on the Strip a lot of kids, a lot of strollers and such. And to me, you know what? I know that maybe the demographic is shifting a little bit with spring break and March Madness and stuff. But honestly, you gotta keep them kids home. Ship them off to Grandpa and Grammy, and you don't want your kids to see the drunk people walking down the Strip or the pedways. You don't want to see the 8-month pregnant woman crying with her Starbucks cup, wanting for cash in like 7 o'clock in the morning. You don't want to expose your kids to that stuff.
No.
You know, Vegas is so thin in terms of it's a racket. It's just, you know, it's nice. It's a TV show, whatever. But you don't have to go far to see how a lot of people hurting and stuff.
I think a couple of years ago, Vegas was the fastest growing city in the States.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
How many CSIs per capita do they have there?
There was 3 because of the jet lag. I was up at like 3 in the morning, and you know what? Their morning show started like at 3 in the morning, so I was on the TV watching their morning show, and there was like shootings 2 blocks up from where we are, and something else, a fire a couple of blocks down. It was a little crazy, but you know what? For a life experience, if you got $5,000 you want to spend, go to Vegas. Flights are smooth. They got their shit going on in terms of taxis to get to the hotel. I stayed at the Cosmopolitan, which is one of the newer resorts. I love it. Me being new. Area, Cosmopolitan and stuff, it's like fantastic. So, I don't know. People on the live chat, hopefully they can comment in on what they liked when they went to Vegas. Let's go to some stories here. Dan, what's this ninja masturbator?
Okay. I don't really know what to say about this story because it really does speak for itself. So I think I'm just going to literally read the story because I cannot say any better than what it's already here. Cop seek hipster ninja masturbator in U District. So there's a nice picture of one of the Power Rangers showing off one of his special powers. Go Power Rangers. And I just saw that the behavior was first reported on January 10th. Saw a man pleasuring himself outside the front door of her home near the University District. Continues to say, surveillance camera installed to the home caught a masturbator at the same home on February 7th, showing a man covered head to toe in black, save for the 2 body parts he used to perform his mission. Seattle police reports. His clothing included a hood, a wrap around his face, and toe shoes. What every ninja wears, apparently. And if, I guess how there's like assless chaps, there must be some sort of like assless chaps equivalent for masturbatory ninjas. But yeah, if you find yourself in the Seattle area, be wary of the masturbating ninja.
All right,
he may be coming for you.
All right, scroll through some of these pictures here that because.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you can see. Oh yeah, definitely assless chaps.
Yeah,
look at that.
Chaps.
Look at that. The cursor don't lie.
Nope.
Yeah, and yeah, still he's staring. He's definitely.
Yeah. That's a problem.
Actually, I don't know if he's a Power Ranger or if he's with that Storm Shadow from the old G.I. Joe cartoons.
Nah.
One or the other. Oh yeah. So yeah, if you're in Seattle, watch out for the masturbatory ninja because. He's gonna try and spread his shurikens everywhere.
All right, good stuff, Dan. You know what? I got nothing else to say for this.
There's nothing to be said about it. I mean, the title is the whole thing.
I mean, we had the naked guy back towards New Year's in Denver, which was kind of cute and stuff. But this one, this guy, got some issues.
Everything he's doing is absolutely wrong. Absolutely, by no means. We're laughing not because we think it's funny, but because it's incredibly absurd. But yeah, this guy's seriously got issues. Serious issues.
Rob Ford has some issues. Speaking of issues here, I don't know. I can't remember at the time you posted this, Dan, but...
Oh no, my stories are done. So.
Oh, you're done.
I posted that one.
All right, cool. Mike, you posted Rob Ford. Rob Ford, unfortunately, is going through some cancer treatment, and the news this morning was that he wasn't doing too good. He might not be doing good at all. Mike, do you have some updates on that one, or?
Yeah, the fall they did an operation and they removed some tumors, and he appeared on TV late the fall and appeared he was doing well, and apparently now it's back again on a couple of spots on his bladder, and it's not looking really good for him now. I mean, as much as a comic character he was last going off in his job, I mean, it's still sad. I mean, he's a real person with a real family, and you know.
Totally. And having been going through the cancer situation here at home last year with breast cancer with the missus there, it is not a nice prospect. You know, no matter who it is and whether or not you think they deserve it or not. And I think he had the stomach cancer. Dan, was it stomach cancer or Mike or?
I don't remember.
I don't think.
I'm trying to think of what it was called.
Yeah, I don't think it was a good one. It was one that you had to really like just zap it to kill it, but it wasn't a good one where you don't look too forward. But
they said it was in it's a cancer that goes in fat cells. That's what started it, and I mean, Rob Ford was a big guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And apparently he's not doing well now, which is pretty sad, really.
Yeah, regardless what you think about when he was mayor and all that, all those shenanigans and stuff.
Well, as a mayor, he did a good job, like running the city. It was just his personal life got a bit crazy.
I will say one thing though, from the article that you posted there. I guess humor in the small thing. He looks a lot like Kingpin from Daredevil.
That is a dark thing, but I'm going to say after watching 2 episodes of the newest Daredevil series, yes. I mean, yeah, he does look like Kingpin. And yes, Daredevil season 2 looks freaking amazing. I'm sorry, folks. Oh god, this is a bad transition.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No spoilers. Hey, Belinda for 150 on the Vegas cards. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, you know what? Regardless who they are, cancer is a
it's bad,
ridiculous disease. I was in the conference. I was just having lunch with a lady who did procurement for Apple. She was telling me how Steve Jobs would phone her up about the color of the carpet of these humongous trade shows with thousands of people, and he was worrying about the color of the carpet. But she was telling me about her fight with cancer and all that stuff, and we were talking about, for whatever reason, we're talking about cancer, and it's just one of these things that people get. People get cancer, breast cancer, intestinal, rectal. It's just a crazy disease, no merciless disease, and it's unfortunate that people have to go through that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Happy times.
Yeah, happy times. Well, happy times. Black Widow is out on bail, yo.
I'm just gonna say one thing quickly.
Yeah.
If you notice all my stories versus all Mike's stories, Mike, are you okay?
I went to the dark web.
Is everything okay at home for you, man? It's like
It is.
really morose.
Well, Mike suggested the Black Widow story. Mike, give us a little bit of a background on this story for those who probably don't know this.
This one in her early 80s now. I think she's originally from the States. Her second husband, she was convicted of manslaughter. He was poisoned. Her third husband died after, I believe it was arsenic poisoning. And she got 2 years, 9 months, and 10 days for murder.
Wow.
She was denied parole last fall, and now she's been deemed, well, she served her sentence of 2 years, 10 months, and 9 days, or whatever. But she's still deemed a high-risk offender, and she's out in Nova Scotia. So if you're down to a little bar and some little cute old lady comes by, you might not want to get involved. But like, this is crazy. I mean, there's a dangerous offender law where
Well,
basically
yeah.
they can keep you in and keep looking at a parole situation for you. Maybe this woman deserves it.
Well, she definitely has the track record. Dan, what do you think? Like, she definitely. I wouldn't be giving her my LinkedIn invite.
No, she wouldn't be in my friends list for Facebook either. Yeah, I'm surprised that if even if one completes their time and they're still considered high risks, that they don't do the. I'm not saying that they have to remain in prison, but perhaps instead of having complete released freedom, that perhaps a monitored halfway house or something.
Yeah.
Just to ensure for public safety, if anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, gentlemen, hello. She's on the market too, so watch out. So, hello, ladies.
Ladies, yeah.
But yeah, this is. I mean,
it's crazy. Like, she did her time that they gave her 2 years, 10 months, 9 days, whatever. But she's still considered high risk, and they let her out, and they warned the public. Like, she shouldn't be out.
No.
Or any of these people that they say, well, we had to release so and so, but they're still high risk. Well, why are they on the street?
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, to be honest, I'm going to talk to anyone that's a homeowner or someone that's planning on buying a house.
Mm-hmm.
When you go and look for your house, when you're doing your MLS research and that, you're like, oh yeah, I should probably check on the offenders list to see if there's any in the area. Nobody does it. So why bother even going through that rigmarole? Because nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly.
So to take that out of the account, if they are still high risk, we have institutions like halfway houses that are set up to deal with this.
Yeah.
Why aren't we employing them?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm checking on the YouTube feed. Nothing much going on. Stu was saying that he was collecting about 100 of my Vegas cards on the strip. The little ladies. Right here, boys.
Are they all going to be underneath Mylar? You're going to have like a binder full of them afterwards?
Well, you know what? It's funny. The little one has discovered my Marvel Masterpieces card set.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking them out. Oh, there's a slot. I can put Destiny or what's her name here? Tyra in the slot. Yeah, I'll put Tyra in the slot or whatever her name is. Anyway, Stu was saying here he collected about 100 of these cards on the strip in Las Vegas, then stood out on the street corner and handed them out. Got lots of laughs. And he said, bet she has lots of cards, and I forget the context of that. So
I think he was talking about our good internet Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Anyway, Stu, I ran into Stu, faithful listener or watcher, ran into him this afternoon getting some of the beer there, so we chatted for a little bit, so it was good.
So I think everyone that's a part of this podcast, we should make our own cards. Put them
you know
up there.
what? Yeah, you know what? We'll get a cheap one, $35 special, and we get a $150 special. And then we'll get the 200, 2 for $1, $99.
Dan the Minerals.
Yeah.
Ambidextrous.
Oh my God! Just DM me for the website addresses, folks. I've heard of it. People have been telling me about this for years until the opportunity to say, "Hey, we need to send you to a conference." Oh, okay, where? Vegas. Oh. Yes. But then on my phone it's like, they want me to the missus. They want me to go to Vegas. Can I go? Yeah, go. Okay, yeah, I can go. That's how it basically went.
Yeah.
Mike, you had a last story here about the Heart Stroke Foundation CPR training to your smartphone.
Yes, Dan, outside of people dying of heart attacks, this is a happy story.
This is a happy story. I'll give you that. This is actually a happy story.
Yeah, there's an app for that now. I can't get it on my phone, but there's an app for it. They have an app that you can put on your smartphone now to help do CPR. Apparently, like 85% of people who are going to have a heart attack is going to be at home. And a lot of people aren't trained, and it's so easy. Yeah, I can't remember how many courses I've done in CPR. But with the AEDs around, you can teach a child to use them.
Yeah.
But this app should really help people.
We're gonna post it on the Hangout chat here, but I just did my first aid training recertification like 2 weeks ago before I went to Vegas. But yeah, it is simple. They didn't do the app; it was a different vendor that did the training. But now in terms of the focus for first aid is like depending on. You don't have to do the freaking triage and all that stuff. It's like, if they're not breathing, CPR.
Yep.
Like, you do it, regardless and stuff like that. And you get, depending where you are, if there's a shock, I'm going to say a shock machine or whatever. Yeah, AED.
Yeah.
You go get it, bring it like in 2 minutes because, we're going to lose them and stuff like that. So that's basically the training that we got. And you know what? At least in Canada, a lot of the hockey rinks, a lot of the malls and stuff like that will have the defibrillator, AED, clearly marked.
Yep.
And be able to use it. Dan, is that kind of a policy up in your neck of the woods in terms of?
Every single military member has to mandatorily take a refresher course on doing military first aid, which is actually provided by St. John's. Yeah. So it's a St. John's that's slightly tailored for the military's needs, and every 2 years we have to get recertified for doing all that. So. Yeah. If when in doubt, every single military member is a certified first aider.
Yeah. And for me, for government Nova Scotia, I gotta get recertified every 3 years, and I just did my recertification next year. Different vendor, very simple in terms of the training. Very good training, I would say. We had the dummies and all that stuff, but yeah, the focus on not breathing. Resuscitate and call 911. Get somebody here quick. And for most of us in populated areas, not an issue. So
ABCs.
Yeah. It's funny.
It's good they finally do have an app because that's the way the world is going, and it can make a difference if you get somebody in the first couple of minutes.
Well, especially now when I did my training, like. Literally 2 weeks ago, they really trimmed down the amount of stuff compared to St. John's. And I believe if you did it around 2010, there was a lot of stuff. They really simplified it. It's basically, they really bring it down to acceptable level for people to remember. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do a round of plus ones, folks. This is where we're going to do something that we heard, watched, read, and we enjoy. We want to share with you. If you're on the... sorry.
Watch that burp down.
Well, you know what? I'm drinking the Boxing Rock Wild Axe Bohemian Pilsner. 5.7. That's what I'm drinking right now. That generated the burnt. Guys, what are you drinking?
Why
are you drinking?
I got a Waterloo Spice Dunkel now. It's cloves, ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon. It's really good.
All right. Dan, what are you drinking?
I'm just about done my IPA there, and I'm probably gonna cut it quits on that one. It's not going down as fast as a lot of other beers. Not to say that I'm not enjoying it. It's just a little bit harsher. I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's just not as smooth.
You're not the IPA guy, are you, Dan?
Yeah.
Oh no, I do enjoy IPAs. I do enjoy IPAs, but the fact that
the Garrison one is really sharp.
Yeah.
It really just cuts right in there. Yeah.
So it's not a strong summer drink. Let's just say it's not like Corona where you just polish it down and go to the next.
Definitely not. IPAs or pale ales are my favorite.
And I like the black and tans. I like the really good stouts myself.
Funny thing is that I didn't really, while in Vegas, not a lot of craft beer. A lot of Bud Light, a lot of Miller Lite.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I did enjoy, hang on, let me go on tap here. It was the, oh man, I forget the name of it here. Hang on, let me get it. It was the, we go into the restaurants. You were able to get some craft beer. That was actually really good. And one of the ones that I really enjoyed while I was there for the few nights was the Resonate IPA from Craft House Brewery. I don't know if they're based out of Las Vegas or from the California area. But basically 6.5 ABV. Very nice piney beer. When I was ordering an IPA, that's what they brought to me. Really good beer. Really, if I ever see it here on the East Coast, I would buy a crap load.
Cool.
Yep. All right, let's do a quick round of plus ones. This is where we highlight something that we saw, read, heard, listened, that we want to recommend, plug to people. Mike, anything you want to recommend to people to check out?
Yeah, actually, there's a CBC show. It's in its second season now, Company X. It's based on true stories, basically, from World War II, where they trained spies. I think it was in Kingston. It was in Ontario somewhere. It only came to light recently that they had this camp set up for training spies. It's a really good show. You can probably catch them all online. I think you can this season anyway, but it's a really good show.
I'm going to have to check that out. I have not seen that show on my Tall podcast because I was loading up a whole shitload of them before I went on my trip here. Dan, anything you want to plus one?
Well, there's one that I want to plus one. It's something that I've been following for almost a year, and I've never really commented about it, but I think it is worth noting, especially for anyone that's sort of interested in vlogging or to become a vlogger. There's a filmmaker who is by the name of Casey Neistat. He works out of New York.
Oh, yeah.
And he's made really good films, short films. He's done a couple of long ones, but he's more noted for his short productions and ad work. And then about a year ago, he decided to challenge himself and do a daily vlog, which he's maintained daily. And for anyone out there, any aspiring vloggers, anyone that's wants to create their own YouTube channel, he is literally the watermark for a high production value of vlogging. And it's not just the fact that he's got a vlog per se, it's the quality of the vlog is phenomenal. He's got the filmmaker's eyes. He's got the storytelling that goes along with that. He edits it. You will be amazed by the amount of effort that he puts into it. And almost every episode, between 8 to 10 minutes long, is fascinating to watch this man's life in vlog format. So you don't have to go back.
2.5 million.
Yeah, you don't have to go back to episode 1 to follow it. You can jump in at any point to get a sense of where it goes. But if you have to subscribe to something, subscribe to a vlog, this is one I would highly suggest subscribing to.
Yeah, and he's been around for a number of years, and he's in downtown New York. He's in Brooklyn. He can get fantastic footage. any time of the day, anywhere. So yeah, he's really good. He did a number of videos. One that comes to mind is when he decided to bike the bike lane in New York, and he kept
Yeah.
purposely running into whatever obstacle, truck,
These cars, everything.
homes, yeah, whatever, and he's
Yeah.
just making a big mess and
Yep.
hurting himself. But yeah, he's definitely is a watermark. A lot of people do look at him for a blogger or whatever. I'm gonna say that. Remember, he's in New York. A lot of stuff, or he has sponsorship.
Oh yeah.
He has opportunities to be in certain places than the rest of us don't. So,
And to have access to certain equipment.
exactly. Equipment is the other big thing too. Now, he has a number of different cameras and such. Now, for me, I switched to GoPro and iPhone kind of video camera, iPhone 6, 6S. Probably will do the same thing with the latest GoPro. But yeah, great. You know what? If you want to look at how to do it, Casey is definitely a guy because a lot of people do look at him for inspiration.
Yeah. It's definitely quality.
Yeah, and that's again, it's not the fact that he's got the high quality, it's the fact that he produces it every single. He has not missed a single one in the past almost a year now.
Yeah, he's like about 30 days ago for a year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. No, exactly. So, no, not knocking the guy, but definitely check him out. Definitely, you don't want to try to be like him because you can't be like him.
You can't.
No, you can't. You gotta find your own niche, find your own thing, and try to exploit that. So
again, if you want to at least try, not necessarily get, I guess get inspiration. He's a fantastic source for inspiration.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's put it this way: when he did there was a snowstorm earlier in the year, like 3 months ago in New York. He did the snowboard holding back of the Jeep or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of people copied that, even here in Halifax. Months later, yes, he originates a lot of content that you see on YouTube. I just want to highlight something that I read or listened to my plus one, which is basically the Ink podcast, which is the Ink magazine. They have a great podcast. Ink Uncensored is their podcast, and listening to episode number 56, which is simplifying the blockchain, and they had a really good guest. I forget his name. Talked about Bitcoin, blockchain, and how people are using Bitcoin for different reasons other than just money, like deed to a house, in a song, microsense. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I totally recommend. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm going to retweet it here shortly. Definitely a podcast I want you to listen to, just to get an idea. Yeah, just to get an idea what Bitcoin or what people are thinking about what to do with Bitcoin at the next level.
I thought that was dead.
No, it's not dead at all. It's finite. It's finite, but you have this concept called microcents, and what the next generation is basically saying. Because remember, we were all happy about Blockbuster, saying, "Yeah, Blockbuster dead. Yeah, Netflix. Yes." You know what? We don't own anything anymore. Blockbuster or stores, we used to own those videotapes, those DVDs. Now we're streaming or buying from iTunes. We don't own anything. We lease these videos or movies, and so we can't resell. Oh, I have this huge collection of movies on iTunes. I would like to sell it to somebody. You can't. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who are figuring out how to plug in Bitcoin microsets to transfer ownership. Music, house titles, wills. I'm going to retweet this podcast from Ink Incorporated on the podcast. Listen to it. It is really interesting. All right, and well, that's all I got. Guys, you got anything?
No,
I think that's
I'm gonna retweet this podcast. What, you guys got anything you wanna?
no. I stand by my OnePlus.
Yes.
Casey Neistat. Follow,
Yes,
subscribe to
Casey.
him if you haven't. Again, get inspiration. He has an incredible ability to, even if you don't have a YouTube channel, he kind of makes you want to have one.
He does.
Roger from the Annapolis Valley says here, I'm on to the English ale from Hell Bay.
I haven't seen Hell Bay in the stores in a while. Is it
What
just
are you talking about? There's two. There's two beers that they carry in SLCCs.
No, well, I haven't seen them. I've been going to the I always blank on the name of it. The one in the Sobeys over in
Baker Street, yeah.
Baker Drive, but they haven't had it there in a long time. The Hells Bay, and I haven't seen them in SLC in the Hells Bay for a while too. And I do love their English ale.
When you come to the right side of the harbor, which is Halifax, you'll be able to see. I'm sorry, man, but you know what? You're gonna see the Hell Bay.
Sorry, maybe it's the fog coming off this the smokestacks in Dartmouth that's blocking my view.
Must be.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Great meeting tonight. We'll do this next
Good
Friday.
meeting.
Good meeting, everybody.
Good meeting.
Good meeting.